This person wants to be famous. Now, what we're bothered by is the fact that we keep hearing this. This is the second time we've heard this stuff that this person has said. So my brother called me and we talked about it because somebody else said it. So you know what happens when people start saying things and somebody else hears it and it changes, and another person hears it and it changes. That vibration, right? That vibration of negativity. And why? Everybody should be doing everything they can to make sure that this woman's legacy is solved all the way through with getting that money back into the estate of the family. Why would you disrupt what we've done? Our contract is valid. My big brother's contract, the TBC Group company, the Benford Group, is valid. You can't invalidate an agreement that was already signed, and we were already in motion. We were already in motion. So there's a sleeper cell in the circle, right amongst everybody, right amongst, and got people fooled. Literally have people fooled. And that person knows exactly, you know who you are. And if I was you, I'd be careful with speaking negative about people and keeping that narrative going, because every time you tell one person, then that person tells somebody, but it started with you lying. We have no reason to have stressed Angie out to sign an agreement. Now, this same person, I will mention names. This same person, I'm gonna tell you guys, this same person also was one of the ones that had to do with the booking of the van, the Sprinter. This person was one of the persons that has something to do with, see, everybody's talking about the truck, but nobody has asked who booked that van? Who got the van? Who got the Sprinter van? I don't hear nobody asking that question. I know. There's an argument between two people. No, you did it. No, I did it. No, you did it. No, I know you did it. No, you're the one that booked it. No, you're the one that booked it. It's within the circle, you guys. Somebody in the circle were the ones that booked that Sprinter van. But let me go. I'm gonna share on the next video. I'm gonna share something with you. It's gonna blow your mind. A conversation that person had with me the morning that Angie passed. And the conversation was rather uncomfortable, but I entertained the conversation because I was crying like a baby. I was screaming, crying. And she told me. That particular person said, I got you on speaker. I didn't give a damn. I was crying. Right? But they shared something with me about the driver. And I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. Because I just thought it was kind of unusual that person would say what they said to me. So please understand, the TBC Group, we are the managers. My big brother Basal is the one that took over everything. This is the manager. And it kind of drove me crazy because, you know, I wish Tyler Perry had spoken to my brother. That's who he should have spoken to. I got a call from Tyler Perry's people asking questions about us and our involvement. And then I found out on, you know, the memorial, you know, they didn't even have the TBC Group's name on there as a company that had taken over the collecting of all of her rights back. They totally erased us out of that. They totally erased us out there. And this conversation goes deep because it just goes deep. This particular person I'm talking about, we're gonna expand on that. My brother is so deep in the industry, you know, and people say, I'm worried about you, Stone, I'm worried about you. Well, I'm not worried about anything. My big brother is one of the most powerful people in the music industry, period. He's one of the most powerful people in the entertainment business. He sits at the table with everybody. There's nothing for me to be worried, and I'm not mentioning the names that you hear people on the internet mentioning. I don't need to do that. But I'm gonna tell you about this one person in the circle. I'm gonna tell you about that. I feel like this is my mission. He feels the same way. My big brother feels the same way. The same thing that my big brother wants to do and has been doing for Angie's estate is the same thing he did for the BB King estate. They're currently, I looked up, if you go to Trillis, this is a site called Trillis, the case law. I looked up, it's funny because I didn't even tell my brother, but I knew he was handling the situation with the B.B. King estate. And I looked up on Trillis and looked up the case of the B.B. King estate. Because B.B. King's daughter is like my mother. I call her Mama King. She just had a stroke, and Vasal has been looking out for her and the family. So the thing we do, the thing the TBC group does, the thing that my brother does, is not about money. Nobody needs to worry about money when the money is there. No need for nobody to worry about money, because you have to spend money to make money, you guys. You got to understand that. You have to spend money to make money. Okay? So that narrative of us, I was appalled when I heard it. I was like, what? And this is what this person, the same person that has something to do with the rental of the Sprinter, and it's an argument between her and somebody else in the camp. You rented it. No, you rented it. I didn't rent it. It's literally an argument with these two people as to who rented that Sprinter van. I think we should start there, you guys. Everybody's worried about the truck. We already know the truck is there. Let's talk about who rented it. Because that same person told something to me about the driver, said something to me about the driver that morning that I found to be very, very questionable. And I'm going to share that with you on the next part 3. Is this 2? It's part 3, part 4, I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying, you guys? Sometimes you have to get ahead of when people think they're going to try to say negative things about you. You got to get ahead. You got to use your platform to set the record straight. So I'm setting the record straight. They're trying to figure out a way to get rid of us from even continuing to collect what we've already started. They're trying to get rid of my big brother in the TBC group and replace it by saying that the contract we had with Angie was invalid. It's not valid anymore because she died. That's what they're saying. Which is a lie. Okay? Which is a lie. Like I said, I have the signed agreement right there. This is why people have to be careful speaking negative about people. Once again, my big brother is a very powerful person in the music industry. And to give you an understanding of the TBC group, the executive vice president of Universal works for my big brother now. Now, he's no longer at Universal, but he works for my big brother's company right now. So we're not dealing with any low-level people. So for all the people that's trying to figure out how this is going to happen, like I had a friend of mine, this idiot, and I'm going to call it for what it is. He's trying to figure how y'all going to do this. And I said, man, you know nothing about the music industry. So stop placing your opinions about things you don't know. People want to play forensic investigators, and first of all, they don't even, some of them barely know how to count. But they want to play forensic investigators about the music industry and a business they know nothing about. Okay, I'm going to end this because I'm going to do the part 4. And I'm not going to wait to do the part 4. I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. But I will say this again. Angie is managed by the TBC group. Once again, I'll post the picture right here. This is my big brother, Vasal, the one you always hear me talking about. The one that discovered that Angie had no publishing. Our team. He is the leader of the team. He's the leader of the pack, and he's one of the most influential persons in the music industry. He represents some of the biggest names. I brought Angie to my big brother, and we got the ball moving on this. So I'll say this to you again. There is a sleeper cell in the middle of the storm every day sitting right there with the family. And it's up to the family to figure out that this person is really not a good person. And I don't care what nobody says. This girl can cry. She can say she's not. She pretends like she's in the music industry. She's not. She pretends like she knows about the music industry. She doesn't. She doesn't have any music industry relationships. She doesn't. But she wants to speak negative about people who have long relationships in this business. You don't do that. You can't be a part of a team and you say you want to help, but yet at the same time, you are being a negative insertion in that system. because negativity only breeds negativity. And if you're in the heads of the kids, even though they're adults, but you know, their mom is gone. So if they feel like if they halfway believe you, there you go. If they halfway believe the stuff you're saying, really what they need to do is look into your history. See how long you've been in the music industry. If they would just take their time and get away from this person for 4 days or a week to think, and tell that person, you know what, can you just, you know, we're gonna get you a place, you know, we're gonna book you a ticket to go. We need, you know, me and my sister need to talk. Me and the family need to talk. They would figure out that that person that's in the middle, in the midst, is dangerous. And that person also needs to explain to them what was her relationship with this dude. Why did she tell me what she told me, what I'm gonna tell you on the next video? Why did she tell me what she said that morning at the hospital about this dude? And I said to her, I said, well, Angie's passed. I said, what does that have to do with her passing? And she was just upset about this guy. And you know, how it was something he was doing and she was disappointed about. I'll share that with you on the next video. A sleeper cell. So I'm giving you this information, you guys, so you don't hear it, somebody leak it, somebody else tells you something. This girl, guy, whatever, right, says, oh yeah, well, we don't necessarily need them. And you know, they forced Angie to sign under stress. She was stressed, she was crying. This is what this girl is saying to people. She's lying. It's a dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game when you're lying on people that have been in this business for many, many years. Now, if the truth is the truth, it's the truth. I mean, you see me talking about it. I'm getting like in front of it to let you guys know, so that when you hear it, and if you hear it, because she knows if she comes out with this, it's gonna be a problem, because she's already been threatened. My people already threatened to sue this particular person. Now she knows who I'm talking about, because she'll hear this and know. And you know the stuff you're saying is not cool. And you know the stuff you're saying to the family is not cool. So stop it. And it's better to stop it while you're ahead, because if you stop it while you're ahead, you actually save yourself a lot of less headaches, because you're lying. You're lying about everything you said. It kind of really makes no sense. And we're trying to really figure out what your angle is. I know you want to be a star. I know you want to, you call yourself an artist. You know, I know you were around Angie. You really low-key envy Angie. You low-key kind of want to be Angie. And you haven't even been around Angie that long. You haven't even been around her that long. So my advice to you is be careful with your negativity and starting mess, because what's going to happen is once people wake up, they're going to figure you out. See, one thing about a person who starts stuff like that, eventually the tides come in to claim the sand. You understand what I'm saying? The tides will come in to claim the sand. You're going to be exposed sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. So you can keep doing what you're doing, like, you know, I mean, you know, or you can just stop being that way and stop lying and stop making lies up. Nobody can force a person to sign a contract. Nobody has a gun to anyone's head. Angie was a very intelligent woman. Oh, she was sharp. She was super sharp. But the sad part about this is she believed in you, young lady. She believed in you. She really, you had her fooled. She really actually believed in you. She believed in some of the stuff you say. You had her fooled. I would hear when she would be talking to me and I would say, who's that in the background? And I would say your name. She'd say, no, that's nobody, but I knew it was you. You was whispering. You'd be there sometimes feeding Angie certain words. I know, I'm not stupid. My ears are good. I mix records. I record. I got great ears. I can hear stuff from a distance. I would hear you whispering in the background. A few times I said to Angie, is that such and such? No, it's nobody. But I know it was you because I could hear the voice. Because you were trying to feed her what to say sometimes. This is how you were manipulating, and you've been manipulating people in your circle. Gotta stop it. It might have worked in wherever else you was living at, but in the music industry, this stuff gets exposed, and it gets exposed very fast. I know you want to be in the game. This is not the way to do it. I know you want to be an artist. This is not the way to do it. There's a right way to do it. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to want somebody else's life. You don't have to want, you're not one of her kids. You're not her daughter. You're not related. None of that shit. So you can stop all that. Now that's all I have to say. Now, I'm gonna say this again. Angie Stone is managed by Basal Benford. I will post the picture once again. I'm sorry I had to go back and revisit some of this, you guys. My apologies, but I wanted to give you a little bit more this time, but I had to go back and revisit some of the stuff in the last video and give you some details that I didn't cover. You understand what I'm saying? Angie Stone is managed by Basal Benford, the Benford Group. That's the company I work for. That's my big brother. He has been in the entertainment industry for years. Well respected, you guys. $300 million company. And all he wanted to do was to help Angie. And we will continue the fight. We're going to do whatever we can. But I wanted to share with you guys that there's sleeper cells within the circle that's trying to figure out how to get us out and void the contract that Angie signed with us. They're literally talking. Now, they haven't said it to us, because when we actually talk to them, it's always backwards conversation. You know, the people that lie, stuff is said, you know. So I only went off of what the son said, and he said, no, Stone. But that particular person is in their ear, and she's a messy one, y'all. Oh, she's a messy one. And when I say she's a messy one, y'all, she is super messy. The worst part about being messy is when you have an intelligent person that's messy, because they're so calculated with every move they make. Listen, y'all. Listen, I'm not gonna make this video too long. I said, hopefully I didn't. Looks like I did. I'm gonna catch you on the next video, man. I'll try to make these short. This is crazy. It's hard for me to make them short because once I talk, I'm talking. This is why Angie Stone mentioned my name, you guys. Part 4 coming, and we're gonna get into this messy person, and we're gonna talk about some other things. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about because there's so much to talk about, but we're gonna talk about something. Stone Paxson, Music and Life, you guys. I wanted to give you more clarity in my vocals, so I hooked up my mic this time. Thank you for all those that have given just positive love in the memory of Angie. We're gonna keep that fight alive for Angie. You guys heard it from me. You know, it's a mess in the storm. There is a virus in the middle of the family nucleus, and it's not good. So you guys heard it from me. If you hear any negative news about us, you know that it's made up, because there is no reason for us to force Angie to sign a contract. It sounds insane. And she was crying, and I mean, here we are again with the movie theatrics, right? It sounds like a movie, right? We forced Angie to sign a contract. When she's in Atlanta, we're here, and we forced her, and she was crying. Angie was not crying. Angie called me and said, where's the contract? Where's the paperwork, Stoney? I said, oh, we're gonna be getting it over to you. Not one tear. Like I said, none. Angie was on top of her game. She wanted to know things. But this particular girl, man, she must be good, man. Because she had Angie believing her bullshit. And she actually has the family believing it too. She's made herself a family member now, y'all. I ain't making this up. But she needs to stop the negativity. You can't do that dynamic. You will destroy yourself, and you'll destroy those people that you think that you're telling them you love them, but you really don't. You're being selfless. It's all about you. You want to be a superstar. You want to be around the money. You want to be around the house. Tell me otherwise and show me otherwise. Other than that, it's bullshit. Anyway, Stone Paxson, Music and Life, Part 4 coming, you guys. I'm sorry for the long videos. I apologize. I'll try to make it shorter. Peace, and I'm out.
This isn't a tribute. This is an exposé. Angie Stone didn't just die, she was betrayed. And the smoking gun, a van, a mole, and $300 million gone. The crash made headlines, but nobody asked, who booked that van? 2 people are fighting over it. You did it. No, you did it. One of them is lying, and I know which one. Every scandal has a weak link. Hers? She got greedy. The morning Angie died, she called me, crying fake tears. But then she slipped. One sentence, and it blew the case open. To the mole watching this, you made one mistake. You underestimated US. And to you, smash like right now. Because part 4, it's the knockout punch.